Hey, it's me, Josie, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be doing a movies, TV show, book wrap-up. My TBR, a little TBR of like what I want to read next. First, I'm gonna do the TV shows, and I just have one movie. So the first one is called The Murdaugh Murders. I think it's on Netflix. It's a documentary. This was really good. I really love crime, true crime, documentaries, stuff like that. So this was like right up my alley. Just your good old Southern boys, Southern charm and Southern money, and thinking that they can just skirt the law. That's basically what it is. Really good true crime, very gripping, as they say. Like, I just wanted to know what's gonna happen to this guy. Are they gonna find out what happens? My first instinct, without even knowing what happened, was the husband did it. If the son and the wife were murdered, who's left? The husband? Case closed. But it's not that easy. They have to find the evidence. For me, that's where it gets interesting, like the ins and outs of where they find the evidence and, oh, they did this, the hard truth, undeniable evidence. So that's what I love about the true crime stuff. I rated this one a 9 out of 10 because I was really invested in it. I also enjoyed it because it was a very recent case, and those are some of my favorite ones, like the ones that are happening in the now, new facts or whatever. I'm like there witnessing it. Even though I wasn't like aware of this when it was like happening, watching this and being like, oh my gosh. If you hear about something in the olden days, kind of like, oh, well, you know, that's the olden days, like that doesn't happen anymore. Like, it happens all the time still, maybe even more sometimes. So peep my 3 Days Grace shirt. Human. Went to the tour. The next show that I want to go over is kind of like a crime show. This one is kind of like a bizarre case. It's called Apple Cider Vinegar, and I think it's on Netflix, and I think it's brand new. Like, I think it just came out. It's a crime drama is the genre. This lady knowingly misleads people by pretending she has a disease, deadly disease. Not only does she pretend, but she like capitalizes off of it, makes money off of it. Say like your friend or something says they have an illness, you'd be like, oh my gosh, yes, let me like donate money, or like try to give money to you to like support you in your like medical bills or whatever. And it's actually wild to me that people do this for fame, money, and power / like recognition. It's like so wild to me. So I guess I can kind of see in that aspect, like if you have a rough home life, then you might tend to like try to find love. Like if you're not feeling loved at home, you might try to find love in like other places, and that might lead you to like lie about certain things. Lying about something isn't a crime. So that's where the crazy part is, like how they're able to catch these people. Like the extent, like people will lie about this for years and years and years, and to everybody they know. So it's like just mind-blowing. To me, it's like someone doesn't have a heart to be able to do that, because there's like people actually struggling with illnesses that are actually passing away and actually have medical bills and whatever. So it's like to lie about something like that is just so disgusting. I think to go about trying to get attention in such an extreme way, if you want attention, start a YouTube channel like me. But it's like, for real, like there's like so many other ways that you can try to get attention, especially with social media. Because of the online space, because of the whole aspect of you only see what people want you to see, it's so much easier for people to lie just about anything. That's why it's interesting to me, I guess. I'm here for it. I'm ready. I'm sat. I want to know. I rated Apple Cider Vinegar 8 out of 10. It was really good, but just really focused on her a lot, and I was kind of like, don't really care about this B word who faked an illness, you know? It's like, we don't need the focus to be all about her. I guess you kind of do in order to understand, but a little too much about her and not as much about like the crime aspect. I guess that's why I didn't enjoy it as much. Okay, this last one is a movie, and it's called Luck, and it's on Apple TV, I think. So I watched this one because I think it was under family. It almost looked like a Disney movie, but it's not Disney. Don't quote me on this, but I thought that it was from like the same people who did like Toy Story. So it's not Disney movie, but maybe they borrowed some people or whatever. This one was okay, honestly. I want to say it was mid. It didn't make me cry. I wasn't really that interested in it, to be honest. It's a family comedy, and it wasn't that funny. There was like maybe a few jokes that I was like, oh, that's kind of funny, but not really. Giving Lucky Charms. Yeah, no, there was a whole land of leprechauns. That was the land of luck, was everybody was a leprechaun. I kind of got old, like tired of that. There's a black cat. And I think that's why I wanted to watch it too, because like it was a cat. I was like, oh, it's cute, whatever. I thought it was weird, the relationship of the main character to her friend at the adoption center. I was kind of confused. The whole setup, like it seemed like they had this idea of like Land of Luck, and then the rest of the setup of the movie was just kind of thrown in there, because I was kind of like, what is happening? Like in the beginning, I was at this like adoption center, and supposedly this girl, it doesn't say how old she is, she seems to like live on her own, or at least be like older, and then her friend at the adoption center is a little girl. It was just weird to me. Like the whole time I could not get that out of my head. I wasn't fully paying attention, so maybe that's where the confusion is, but I never remember her having parents. Why is an adult girl who lives on her own friends with a little girl at an adoption center? That part threw me off. The beginning threw me off because I was confused. And then when I got to the Land of Luck, it didn't really do much for me. There was some good lessons about like, just because you feel unlucky doesn't mean that you should just like give up. That was a good message. I ended up giving it a 7 out of 10. I just didn't really vibe with the movie. I wasn't interested. Honestly, didn't even like the main character, Sam. She kind of annoyed me because she was just so, woe is me, and I'm the unluckiest person in the, like, I'm sure there's people out there that have worse problems than you. I can promise you. For kids, I'm sure it's a decent movie to throw on. Wasn't much in there for an adult person, I guess. I wanted to showcase my Bahamas mug. I've never been there, but I thrifted it. Now I'm gonna move on to the books that I read. The first one I read it on my phone through iBooks, and it was free. It's called The Girls in the Snow by Stacy Green. Crime thriller. So, yeah, this is the first in the series. I guess there's kind of like a backstory, and then it kind of gets revealed later what happened with her parents, and because her parents were murdered like in that town, and she left, and then she had to come back for this case with these girls. Everyone is like, you know, giving her crap because they're like, you know, you're letting your own case that's happening over here, which she's not assigned to, obviously, because there's like, that would be crazy. You can't be assigned to your own case about your parents or whatever. So she's hearing all this stuff that's happening. So there's drama there. And so then people are like, well, you can't lead this case about these girls because you're just in your head about your parents and all this. It's just so good. Like, I think the plots were really, really good, really well done. I guess my only complaint was that I was a bit confused throughout the book. Like, there'd be times where I would have to reread passages because I was like confused of like what's going on, and for some reason I had so much trouble keeping track all of the characters, like especially Mark, Todd, and John. For some reason they just could not click those characters, so every time those people came up I was just like, who are these people? And that was problematic because those were pivotal characters. I really enjoyed it, but I did end up giving it a 3.5. We don't read those type of books a lot, so I was kind of wary that I would even like this book. You get your heart and emotions into it. That's what I really enjoyed about it. This was just the first book, and there's more to the series, so maybe that's why I'm feeling like I need more, enriching my mind. The next book that I read it physically, but I don't have it anymore because I put it in my parents' house. I like to store my books there because I have 2 bookshelves that I'm not fully utilizing. So this one's called The Christmas Escape by Sarah Morgan. I think I got this at Goodwill. It's a Christmas romance book. I definitely do not read books like this normally, but that's why I picked it up, because I said maybe I'll enjoy it, and I ended up really enjoying it. I think it switched point of views every time there was a new chapter, if I'm not mistaken. That was one of the things I enjoyed about it, was because it switched. Books that do that, when they switch point of view, I love that. If it's done well, which I felt this one was done well, that it was just amazing. I cried during the book. It was so good. Friendship is a huge theme in this book, and that, I think, was what affected me so much. And also, you know, relationships. Christy's married, so she's very, like, you know, knows how to open her heart, knows how to, like, you know, be with people, is, like, okay with that. And then Alex is almost the opposite, where she is, like, very, I have my walls up, you know, I'm, like, stone cold. Like, she's like, I'm not interested in dating. The giddiness of you know, reading about romance and like the butterflies and all that stuff almost kind of gives you that feeling when you're reading about it. So I feel like that was like an interesting experience that, like I said, I don't really read romance a lot. So that was kind of like, okay, I kind of see why people love it so much. So I gave it 4 out of 5. I need to literally wrap this up. The last book I read, which I actually have with me because I just finished it yesterday, Warriors Yellowfang's Secret. I got this at half price. I love Warriors cats, like the book series. I used to be obsessed with it. It was one of those things where I kind of fell off with reading. I stopped reading Warriors because I thought, oh, well, I'm not a kid anymore, so I can't read kid books. There's plenty of YouTubers that read young adult even if they're 30. You can read whatever you want. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get back into Warriors because I really did enjoy it. And since when I was a kid, they've added so much more. There's like a pre-series that I haven't read, a prequel series, all this kind of stuff. These same authors have a dog book series, a bear book series. There's so many. Children's literature and fantasy. If you don't know what Warriors is, let me just briefly. Cats that live in the forest, like wild cats, and they have their own clan. They go hunting and whatever. There's a whole universe there. Character list of every clan member in the front. They have all the cats listed. They used to have maps, or maybe these ones don't. Okay, so this one is a super edition. Like, it's part of the series, but it's kind of like separate. Her lore is actually crazy. This was like a 500-page book, and I flew through this. I've read all of these ones. I thought that I would pick this one up because it was the next in the super edition. So they're not really like necessarily in an order because it's about the actual cat and their lifetime. There's series within a series, so it's like crazy. Crazy how a children's book can actually have adult themes in it, because I felt like this book had like a lot of themes of like power, because there is like clan leaders, like they have clan like leader cat of the clan, so they lead the whole clan, but there is supposed to be a warrior's code, knight's honor code or whatever, like basic rules that every clan is supposed to like follow. There's a lot of drama that happens in this book. Yellowfang is a trooper. So interesting how each like clan does their own thing. I was reading the back of this, which has the intro to All Star's Revenge, and he's part of Wind Clan. They do burrowing underground because they're like on the moor. So there's like hills. I love the old covers. It's kind of hard to see because they're black and white. Oh, there's like a square. And this one, there's like a circle. I have all the old ones, so what am I supposed to do? If I buy the new ones, they're gonna be in the new one. And when it's so ugly because it still has from half price. I paid $7.49. This is the next book I want to read from Ransom Riggs. This one's called Map of Days, the 4th novel of Miss Peregrine. So I've read all 3 of these books. Say this cover, these haunted girls pictures drew me in. Peculiar children. I can't even say it. Peculiar children. I love how thick they are, but you have to keep in mind that there's pictures, a lot of pictures in it. I think that makes it a little bit thicker. I love these series. I can't wait to start it up. So that's really it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my reviews of what I've been into lately. Bye.